Hi everyone, welcome to this reading. So over on the Subliminal channel, I did post a subliminal for spirit contact. If anybody's interested, definitely check that out. The link will be in the description box below. If you're interested in overnight affirmations or meditations, definitely check that out. So we're just going to dive right into this. Okay. Taking a step aside. And allowing spirit to pass through me. Opening up to receive information. Okay. Someone here is being challenged. Whenever we have the threshold, this is a challenge, right? Threshold is basically a card where we are being given an opportunity to stay the same or to change, to be stagnant as people or to grow. And with the colors that are present on the threshold, this is very much within that solar plexus sacral chakra realm, right? So personal power in relation to primal roots, maybe even sexuality. The mother, the father are located in that sacral chakra. And so there may be some personal power elements that are coming into play inside of our life right now. Someone has pause. It's almost like they know, but they're not taking that step. Right? And that's okay. Sometimes we need a moment to think about some things. Here we have the mother. And inside this, it's telling us that, when we talked about this last week, there may be some situations or issues regarding the mother that have been a narrative inside of our life. Obviously, I know I had a lot of people in the comment section talk about still healing from, for example, a narcissistic mother. And so, have discernment. We're all in different places within the storyline, and if you're not at this particular place inside your own storyline, that's okay, right? This isn't here to tell people that they have to be aware, that they have to be healed up to a certain degree, but this is for a particular group of people who this is coming forward for, so have discernment for that. With the mother, what this is showing me is that there's something there. There's a pearl of wisdom there. And this is something that needs to be looked at. Someone may be about to step into the realm of that sort of mother wounding in order to retrieve this pearl, but they seem to be pausing. One of the reasons why they're pausing, if you look at this card, there's almost this like shadowy quality to the feet, like there's something over them. We don't even know where we're going. And that's kind of the energy that's giving me, is you don't even know the direction that you're actually trying to go. And so maybe I don't want to do this. Maybe I do want to do this. Maybe there's nothing there. Maybe I can tell myself a little bit more that there's nothing that I have to do here. Here's the problem. Unhealed people hurt other people, right? And so I think that a lot of you are actually very serious about this. I think a lot of you are actually really trying to sift through that information and sift through those old wounds, right? It's not about the past. It's about what we've carried forward. Some of you are trying to sift through that information in order to be able to heal yourself of certain things. It is quite possible that you are realizing how it affects others around you. And for others of you, that's not the case. You might be on your own, and it's not necessarily affecting other people, but it's affecting you, right? And one of the things that I'm seeing here with the threshold and this darkness behind these feet is that we've come from a place of not being aware into suddenly being aware that there's something here. And, when suddenly we're faced with something, it takes a little bit of time sometimes to think, okay, yeah, I can do something with this, right? The thing about this pearl is that it's kind of tucked away, and it's tucked away by the snake that's protecting it. What does the snake represent in this instance? It represents the shadow, right? If you're unfamiliar with the shadow, it's an aspect of our psyche that really tries to protect not just only the inner child, but it is a mechanism that it contains all the wounds and all the hurts. And I'm not speaking about the shadow from like a modern psychology perspective. I'm thinking of the shadow more in terms of what shamans talk about when they talk about the serpent in the roots of the tree, right? Since it is a serpent imagery and not a dragon. This is braided. This is something that comes down to us from ancestors, right? And it doesn't mean that you have to heal your ancestors. It doesn't mean you have to do all this ancestral work. It means that there's an important thing to realizing that what you're doing with this energy is going to be passed on to future generations, if there's future generations. But it's a code, right? Whenever we have this braid, it's been embedded inside of us. And it's quite possible that your own mother had certain things like this taking place inside of her that she didn't heal from, so she passed it on and on it goes, right? But the serpent is interesting because oftentimes it likes to project that everything is someone else, that everything is outside of us, when in reality that wisdom and the pearl and the thing that needs to be transformed and the thing that has taken eons to grow, the thing that has been growing underneath the surface because of some sort of infraction or some sort of injustice or something uncomfortable, is deep inside of us. And in order to come to the place where we can cross the threshold to step over and to unravel what that is, we have the sword. And the sword is the weapon of the hero. It's the weapon of the warrior, right? So one of the things about mother wounds, we tend to be in a space where we're waiting for someone else to save us, right? So if you've ever had that feeling of, oh, if someone else just, then I'd be okay. Or if, you know, if I just married somebody that made a lot of money, then I'd have stability in my life. Or if I just met somebody who would just cater to my every thing that I need and make me feel good, then I'd be happy, right? All those types of situations are wrapped up in this kind of energy until someone learns to step outside of them, right? And the thing about the sword is it's really indicating to somebody that there may be a greater awareness that nobody's coming to save you. You have to save yourself, right? It's clarity as well. The sword is about clarity, and it's cutting through night and day. It's cutting through the things that are kind of shadowy and shape-shifty that we don't necessarily understand, and seeing things how they truly are. Sometimes it's marking out the line of, this is my issue and this is other people's responsibility, right? This is my responsibility, this is their responsibility. For a lot of people, that's going to be highlighted here as the full moon comes up. I'm saying that just because we have the sun, we have the moon, we also have a full moon for some reason. So I'm seeing that that's going to be something that's coming up here with the moon cycles. And there's also this heightened level of energy that's coming in. It's almost like everything inside of us is getting supercharged. It's ready to be dealt with. It's ready to be cleared out now. Okay, we have the mentor. Some of you have somebody in your life that's kind of guiding you or teaching you about these things. For others of you, you may be educating yourself about these things. What I'm really drawn to, however, more than anything, is the presence of the owl. Now, owl, again, represents wisdom, just like that pearl of wisdom. Are we able to learn what we need to? Are we able to take the situations in our life that are causing this to come out? Are we able to look at those situations and see them for what they are? They're valuable lessons. So whoever this message is for, currently inside your life, even if it's just you coming to a place where you're starting to see these things, this is a valuable lesson. When we have owl show up, owl's very interesting because it really represents the predator of night, right? It rules the skies. It's able to see from a higher perspective, and it sees things in the darkness that others can't see. We're coming to a space where we're having greater self-awareness and greater self-reflection, and that kind of quality is going to make you wise. Now, I'm being drawn to this in here. And as I'm stepping into this energy here, this in here, I'm being brought back into the reality of who I am, right? Some of you, you're going to realize that as you delve into this energy, as you really sift through this energy, you're going to see that there are a lot of narratives. There's a lot of lies you've been telling yourself about yourself. And you may be coming to a place where you're ready to just drop the bullshit and allow yourself to see yourself. Good, bad, ugly, otherwise, right? And getting very real on who it is that you are. For some of you, this is about dropping the negative labels people have put on you, whether it's you're lazy or you're never going to do anything with yourself, or you're unlovable, or you're too much, and allowing yourself to see, no, there's nothing wrong with me, right? I'm good the way that I am, and I deserve to be loved exactly how I am. And there's this quality here that's coming up in that saying that I'm good the way that I am, it doesn't necessarily mean that we don't have to grow, right? I think that for some of you, because of the mother sitting next to the sword, there's like sharpness of words, right? This may be a theme inside of your life, or it may be something that you just hear. Either way, this seems to be something that may be standing in the way of you delving into this wound at this time. And so the message is coming through is to practice wisdom. That's just for a small portion of you. Okay, let's see. We're going to see what the process is that's trying to take place here. Okay, and I will read from the book for this. Again, notice all the snakes coiling, just like the mother card. This is synchronicity. Okay, I'm being told not. Oh, nope, I will, okay. I must. Okay. Source Destiny, the miraculous message. The Unus Mundus is the presiding deity of alchemy. It arrives to remind us that we are not alone in our queries or our journey. What are we here to do? What pulls us forward? Unanswerable questions are timeless fuel for the flames of transformation. Mystics before us have uttered the same questions while tinkering in their laboratory. Do not underestimate the brave act of your attention to the details of your daily life, to the ecology of our world. What you notice matters. You matter. When this card arrives, sacred messages abound. Everything is a living symbol, a synchronicity. Its guidance is sent directly from the alchemists who have come before you to encourage you along the way. See the deeper meaning of what is in front of you. It's very important the new opens. So that's exactly what I'm saying here in terms of there's a situation right now that we're meant to be learning from, right? This is like big lesson type of material with that owl spirit coming through. There is this diamond in the center of these snakes, and this is something that, again, it takes a lot of pressure and time to create, naturally anyway. There may be things that we didn't like about ourselves that we may have to face. There may be things that we do like about ourselves, but we were always told that we shouldn't, right? There's a lot of self-reflection here and really getting to the clear on who we are, what we like about ourselves, what we don't like about ourselves, what we really think about ourselves. And with this coiling serpent, we have these white snakes, and then we have these almost like these braided sort of snakes also. So it's the idea of the cyclical nature of not only the narratives that we adopt, right, from very early ages or past lives, but the propensity for those narratives to disappear when we understand the truth. So whoever's message this is, if you have been struggling with lots of storylines, lots of voices in your head telling you that you're worthless and all that, remember that every single moment of your life you are picking who it is that you are and the stories that you're telling yourself. And sometimes, not all the time, right? But sometimes it really is as simple as stepping outside of those stories and allowing ourselves to enter a new one. So one of the things about the threshold is it's saying that someone is in that space. You're ready to leave behind this sort of darkness that you've existed in that has kept you asleep and has kept you stuck. And you're able to step across that threshold into the nest of the mother, where there's going to be work and there's going to be things that you have to look at, but this is how you grow. This is how you evolve as a person. So let's see. I just heard, oh, I don't actually have to do that anymore. Like someone just realizes that, oh, I don't actually have to do that. It's kind of like when you're a kid, right? And you cry and you cry and you cry because you haven't figured out that you don't actually have to keep crying. You know, it's just, you're just used to doing that. It's kind of that energy. That was something that just hit me. Somebody here new and old, right? What it is that we're starting, what it is that we're ending. So these beginnings and endings of things, very much a liminal space in somebody's life right now. I want to say this because it came out last week. It really is giving me that energy of bardo, right? If you're unfamiliar with that term, definitely look it up. B-A-R-D-O. Okay, we have the master maker and we have the piper. So this is constructing a new song for ourselves, a new melody that we're sort of playing, right? How do we make the nuances of our life? How do we make the nuances of our experience be something that we like better? Be something that we want to wake up and experience? Be something that we want to show up for? There feels a little bit like there's some conflict in this because of the threshold we have to step over, because of this sort of mother nest being protected by the shadow that's holding this pearl, and because of the sword that has to go in and has to save itself. It has to cut through the lies in order to be able to retrieve that pearl. Someone here, you're on this journey of really discovering who you are. And in this process of discovering who you are, one of the things that's taking place is Lascuna. And Lascuna is very much about priorities, right? What are your priorities? For some of you, you may be acting in a way that you did when your priorities were very different. And now that you are showing up a certain way or you want certain things, you're going to have to learn how to sacrifice old behaviors and old patterns in order to have new priorities, to reprioritize something. And here we have Nellis the Alchemist. This is transformation. So we have this idea of information from previous alchemists coming in with this synchronicity. Pay attention to the signs that are taking place around you right now, right? Pay attention to the small nudges that you're getting. I almost feel that for some of you, you're getting some deep intuitions about something, or someone else is getting some deep intuitions about something. It might be time to stop and listen, right? Whether it's yours or someone close to you that you care about, that you know has your best interest in mind, because there's more going on here whenever we have these big energies than maybe we realize. There's also something here about this crown so I'm going to say this because for some of you this is heavy work, right? This is how you develop your agency and your self-sovereignty and your self-efficacy. Those three things are really required for a person to feel in control of their life to the degree that they're in control, right? That they can be in control. And if you have previously felt your life was not in your control, this is a good place to look, right? Especially if you understand that this is something that's going on inside of you. This is a good place to look, because that idea and the illusion of not being in control, this is something that was handed off to you a very long time ago, and it's important, and probably a pattern that's been relived. This is very important for somebody to get to the bottom of, because it feels like with the mentor card showing up, there's a situation in your life that you're meant to learn from, but you may be falling into the response habits of this previous way of being. That's why the threshold is showing up. You have to step into the new threshold to be able to handle this lesson. And by lesson, it doesn't mean that it's something bad. A lesson is only bad if we're not able to learn it. So whoever this message is for, I hope this resonates for you. If this does, please hit that like button. Feel free to leave me a comment, and until next time.